Welcome to Country Kickback, where you'll hear the latest music from performers you already know and discover new music and artists from around the world. If you have an artist you'd like us to chat with, reach out to the team at countrykickback.com, or you can watch our live videos and more by following us on social media and YouTube. Here is your host, Danni Shaw, with the latest from Country Kickback.
Hello, everybody. Welcome, Brendan. You were first in the room this morning. I know that you're like me today. You're going to be watching Tamworth on the screen all day because there's so much going on at the moment. Thank you for joining us. I hope you all had a lovely Easter. Let me know what you got up to. And are you in Tamworth? And what are you going to go and see? Because it's looking great this year. I watched the opening ceremony last night. It was fantastic. I really wish I was there. We have also got at the top of the page, pinned to the page, and it's on all of our socials. So if you're watching from Twitter, if you're watching from YouTube or Instagram, there's so many. We do have it up on there too, but we've got a winner's CD to give away. There's a competition running, so it's very easy to enter. You can head over if you read the instructions, and it will give you all the details so that you can just step by step follow it. This morning, we've got Celine Ellis. She's in the green room at the moment. It's very late in the UK. It's 10:30 at night, I think, or maybe even 11. So we will welcome her into the room. Hello.
Hey, Danny. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for joining us so late.
No, thank you for having me so early.
Yeah, it is early here, but it's not terrible. At this moment, it's about to go 8 o'clock, so it's not too bad at all. I haven't had you on the show before, so I've got lots of questions, but you've just released your EP.
Yes.
It's great. So I was hoping before we talk about that, can we just go back a little bit? You've been writing songs for a long time. What made you get into music and the songwriting? Because I was listening to some of your music and you've got such amazing broad songs about different things. It's fantastic mix.
So I kind of started playing guitar back in the 90s when I was a teenager, and then I discovered country music television and fell in love with the storytelling and the sound and the vibe of that kind of 90s country era. The Garth Brooks, Reba McEntire, Trisha Yearwood, Martina, those kind of
the 90s country was amazing, wasn't it?
Superb. And that's where I kind of got my inspiration to become a songwriter, and I just started writing back then, and most of them were terrible, as you can imagine, but because I had no life experience, I was writing songs that sounded similar to what they were singing about mainly. A couple of them have stood the test of time, which is nice, but mainly during my teenage years, I was just a very angry teenager, as most of us are, and I was writing kind of songs like that. And as I've kind of developed and kind of, lived more life and had more relationships that didn't work out, etc., I've kind of got so much ammunition now to fuel the songs. So,
isn't it great when you can see the change too? You go back to your original things and think, well, I've grown so much. And you have to start somewhere. Even if it is bad, you've got to start somewhere, don't you?
Absolutely. And I've got some of the very early songs on Spotify because I actually like to see the journey. Some of them are, although I only uploaded them in 2019, they're like 20 years old.
Yeah.
And they're like when I first started recording my own songs, they were my first recordings. And I do kind of still like to hear them and see them in the kind of the position and the journey. So
absolutely, it's a diary. It's your diary.
Yeah, it's like this is me. This is where I started. This is what I did next, and then this is what I'm doing now and where we're going. So
I love that. And I think that's what I love about music is the storytelling and you get to know the people writing it because it's about them and it's their feelings. So you actually get to know a person without even meeting them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's great. It's like we do on this at the moment. COVID's taught us to not have to meet. We can see each other.
Exactly.
In that. Yep.
There's no need to go out and meet people anymore. You can sit
you can stay home in the warm with your slippers on. Now, you've just released your EP Unraveled, and I was going through the songs on there, and I noticed that in your press release, there's a song that you said is at least 15 years old.
Yeah.
Is there a reason that you put it onto this record, and why now?
So I was in a band, and I was writing songs, and we were writing music together, but we got into a rut of playing cover songs and doing cover gigs, because they're the ones that were kind of making us
Okay.
some money. And we got into a really bad rut of not actually doing anything with the original music we were writing. And then when that band kind of fell apart because one of the guys had a baby and the other one had some trouble with his marriage, and I moved house, we kind of fell apart, and I kind of fell out with music for a good 6 or 7 years. I kind of didn't pick my guitar up and didn't write anything.
Wow.
And yeah, which is crazy, because through that entire time I was kind of wondering why my mental health was suffering a little bit and why I was so
this is your
down.
expression.
Yeah, and then I kind of picked up the courage to kind of go and do an open mic evening where I got to play 3 songs and the other people got up, and I did that, and I was like, this is ridiculous. This is the thing that's been missing. This is the key.
Yeah.
And I sat and I said to my wife, I said, I need to do more of this, and she said, yes, you do.
Yeah.
And
It's
that's kind of where
therapy, isn't it?
oh, it kind of is. And then that was kind of September 2019. So I kind of had a steep learning curve of what can I do now with my music and the song. And I went back to my old songbooks and I dug out all these old lyrics and old songs, and kind of tried to give them a new lease of life a little bit, really. And when I was putting together this EP, I wanted it to be a cohesive collection of songs. I didn't want it to be 5 random songs that I've written recently on an EP. There was a thought process to it, and the first song is indicative of the start of a relationship all the way through to the final ending of another relationship. But there was a story to tell, and that song, Where Do You Go, just kind of fit in with that. All the songs are about relationships at different points, and they just kind of fit within that. So
I like.
Yeah,
I think, and especially where you've popped it, it's the second song on the album, I think. So it's interesting how you've written these things and your storyline as well.
Yeah. So the first song is really about the first spark of a relationship when you kind of like somebody more than they like you, and they kind of taking you for a ride a little bit. And then the end song is very much closing the final door. So then the bits in the middle are about the kind of those situations within a relationship where you're like, what the heck's going on? Or should I leave or should I not leave? And kind of and that song just seemed to fit perfectly within that kind of place in the order. So I went, okay. And also, for not doing music for so long, it was nice to be able to mix an older song with the newer songs as well. So it's not just, I get to kind of do something with some of those older ones, which is good.
Yes, it is, especially when you've been sitting on them for so long, like they've just been there. And I know because of COVID and all this sort of stuff, but did you get to have a chance to play any of these songs live before you released the EP?
I did. Very few times, unfortunately, because of COVID. But yeah, we were quite lucky that the summer last year we started to have shows and gigs again. A lot of that was kind of outdoor kind of venues. So
you could have
more people could gather in an outdoor scenario. So some of the places that had a beer garden in the pubs and stuff, they put up little stages and would do kind of acoustic Sundays or something like that. So I did get to play them for people and bounce them off people. But yeah, a lot of all the releasing I've done since 2020 has been live stream performed, and that's about it, really. So it's nice to be in a position where I'm at now. I'm recording new stuff ready for the summer, and these songs have been played to a few people, and I've had that kind of
You've had to
live
see.
feedback again, which
Yeah.
is so important, really. So
Yeah.
a lot of it is kind of flying by the seat of your pants a little bit and going, well, I like it, so
Yeah. And I think that's the most important thing, isn't it? If you like it and you feel it and understand it, people are going to respond better because you can, while you're telling the story, I think, as
I
well.
think so. But I often like my songs for different reasons than other people like them. I like them because I tried a new technique, or I did
Yes.
a new chord, or things like that. Other people like them because of the story, and so I find it really interesting to kind of find out from people why they relate to it or what their thoughts are.
Yes. I love
And
that side
that's
too.
why I like sharing information about how they were written and where the inspiration comes from, because sometimes people go, oh, okay, and then they go, well, I thought it was more like. So I love that kind of
I love
conversation
that
you
too.
can have. Yeah.
It just gives, and that's the thing, when you hear what people take in, they take in so much different stuff, and you think, oh, there's another meaning to that, and it actually
Yeah.
builds the song for, yeah, it's lovely to hear. And also you know that it's such a nice thing because they're listening to your music and they're appreciating it, and all that sort of side too.
Absolutely. Which is, I mean, I've got this love now for recording my music again, and it's kind of
Yeah.
like it's like a second, it's like almost like a second chance. And now this time I'm like, no, I've kind of had it, lost it, walked away from
Yeah.
it, come back to it, and I'm like, no, this is two hands now.
Yep.
This is kind of integral to who I am, and there was a bit missing, and now I've got it back again, and it's So for me, I absolutely enjoy the journey. So
Yes.
the writing process, the playing, and then going to the recording studio. And I work with two guys in a recording studio who totally get what's in
Yeah.
my head,
Yeah.
and I can say to them, I kind of want it to sound a little bit like this, but can we do a thing like that in that song? And if we can do something that goes bloop bloop blue, and then they go,
Yeah.
totally. How about this?
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, yes, that's exactly
That's
right.
exactly, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Once you find that fit, it's you can't ever. It's just can't leave. That's what works. And I love
definitely.
hearing that too, because I've had so many artists on the show that have gone, oh well, I did try doing this, but it didn't work, so I put it away for a while, and it's because they didn't gel, and then when they find the person that they gel with, it just flows.
Oh, it's so
Um,
important, I think. Definitely. And the Matt and Tom I work with in the studio, we have so much fun together, and they get just as excited as I do when it
it's their
works.
baby
You can
too.
see it, and you can see it in their face, and they get really excited about it, and that
Oh,
makes it kind of really good. And I'm
yes,
hoping that when I I can do maybe some bigger shows with a band, because I when I go do a show, it's just me and my guitar,
yeah,
and the songs I'm recording now are very band.
yes, yeah,
So it's
different.
part of my mission over the next kind of hopefully by the end of the year to kind of coax those two guys and maybe another,
Yes,
so we can do some bigger shows, I hope.
that would be fantastic. Absolutely. What a great time to be able to start doing these things as well.
It's I know, right?
Perfect.
I'm like 43 years old, and I feel like I'm like brand new, starting all over again in
Yeah,
music. It's kind of strange feeling to be, yeah.
it'd be so nice. It's such a refreshing feeling too. Kevin is watching from Aberdeen in
Hey,
Scottsdale.
Kevin.
And Brendan has popped in. He's at home watching Tamworth like me, because we've got, at the moment in Australia, we have our big country music festival that's normally in January. And because of COVID, they've rescheduled it. And it's the 50th anniversary of the festival. So they're streaming it to lots of people because a lot
Oh,
of
are
people
they?
couldn't
Oh,
go.
superb.
It's there's so many shows. It's the most exhausting 10 days of your life, but also the best.
10 days as well.
It
That's
normally
immense.
goes for 10 days. So this one is going for a week, but that's just because of the reschedule. And then it'll be back to 10 days in January next year. So you have to come over because it's lots of fun, but it's
I
very
was good.
hot.
That would be, yeah. I was going to say January in Australia would probably be,
Yeah,
yeah.
40,
But that'd be
40,
so
40,
much fun, though,
41
wouldn't it?
degrees. It
Yeah.
would, oh, it is. Yeah, it's so good. Um, I think Celine should go to Tamworth and play. Yes, I agree. Absolutely. And that's the beauty of Tamworth, is there's so many places you can play and so many ways you can do it. From busking to big live
Nice.
band events. It's great. Do you guys have a similar sort of festival or anything over
Yeah,
there?
so we have a few here in the UK. We have Buckle and Boots is probably one of our bigger ones.
Yes. Yeah.
Then we have Tennessee Fields, which is another one
Oh,
which is good. And then we have some other kind of more country Americana crossovers. So Red Rooster, Maverick Festival.
how long do they all go for? Are they a
They're
weekend?
kind of weekend things, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
One of the bigger ones that happens in the O2 in London is the Country Fest C2C, where
I'll
a lot
see to
of
see. Yes, we get. Yeah, we've had that
yeah
here.
yeah. So the guys from Nashville come over, and some of the UK scene get involved, and it's a real good mashup. That happened a few weeks ago in
Oh,
March.
it went ahead. Yeah,
Yeah,
wonderful.
it was kind of, there was a lot of questions
Nerve.
about it, but yeah, it went
It's
ahead,
such
and
nerve wracking.
so it's great to see that. And then the festivals this summer, I think, are going to be huge, definitely.
Yeah. I need to get over there too. It just sounds like
Oh,
great fun. And I've met
definitely.
so many amazing artists. You guys in the UK have got so much talent coming out at the moment.
The UK scene is such a vibrant, exciting place to be part of at the moment, especially. I think a lot of people used their time during lockdown to kind of
They're refining their
rekindle.
skills.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
and learning new skills. Songwriting, definitely. Marika, who's just said about me going to Tamworth, she's one of the reasons why I got into songwriting again, because she signed me up to a February challenge where we write 14 songs in February.
Oh my gosh.
Uh,
I don't know how you guys can pump it out. That's incredible.
but February is a short month, so it's basically
Yeah.
a song every 2 days. So I've been doing that now. This 2022 was my third year doing that. So
And you've managed it each time?
not the first time. The first time I was a little bit kind of deer in the headlights, shell shocked about what the heck.
Yes.
But
Bit
yeah, last
rusty.
year and this year, But what I think's happened now, since I took that break from music, I've opened the tap, and the songs are
Yeah.
just, I've got like this rush of songs that need to come out. I've got about 180 voice notes on my phone of little bits I
Wow.
record, and little bits here and there, and I'm always tinkering with new somethings, and so
And you were sort of saying before that's that part of you that you kind of suppressed. And
yeah.
emotionally and mentally, do you feel so much lighter now that you've been starting to get these stories
I,
out?
I can't even explain to you how much better it is, how better it is for me and my mental health to kind of have that avenue to kind of get them out there, definitely.
That is incredible. I love it. Oh, Kevin's just popped a comment. Let me see if I can get that up. You help. He helps. Have you met Sarah Louise?
I know of Sarah. I've not met her personally, but yeah.
I had her on the show. Oh, was it a fortnight ago? Because I'm not at work. My days are rolling into one. I have no idea what day it is. But I had Sarah on the show, a couple of weeks ago, and she's amazing. And they do
She's a darling, yeah.
songwriting session every Monday with a group of people that join. Is it on? I'm not sure what's it on, Kevin. What platform do you guys do it on? Let us know. So you've just opened the tap and you've just released this album. You've obviously got plans to release more. Are you thinking for 2022 or wait till the next?
No, so I've got a couple of singles kind of in the pipeline at the moment. One which is going to be, I'm really, really excited about. Not that I'm not excited about the other one, but I'll explain why. Because it's a song I wrote. I did a hometown gig, because I don't live where I grew up anymore.
Okay.
So after COVID, we did these live streams where I would play songs and just chat to people during when no one could go anywhere. And I kind of found a lot of my old school friends, and we reconnected, which was superb. So I travelled back to my hometown and did a show in November, where all my old school friends came, and lots of family came, and they don't get to see me do shows anymore because I'm 200 miles away. So that was really special. And I wrote a song like a few days before, and it's got a kind of a audience participation bit in it where I get them to sing with me. And so that was the whole room kind of got involved in it, and it was just brilliant. So I went, right, we're recording that one.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Me and the guys in the studio have decided we're going to actually now. I'm at the point now where we've got the track to a state where I can start sending it out to people to get them to record their parts. I'm going to get as many people as possible to record parts for it, so we can do like a honky tonk dive bar version.
Oh, I love it. That sounds so much fun.
So we're going to have the regular version and then like a honky tonk dive bar version with loads of different people joining in, singing harmonies, just clapping, whooping, cheering, whatever they want to do on it, and then see how that kind of comes together. So it's quite exciting to get loads of different people involved.
Yes, exactly. Let people have a go and show them a bit of the behind the scenes sort of thing as to what happens. And Kevin said that, that Sarah writes a song on Facebook or, which any of the platforms of people, they join in and write songs once a week, which is a great idea. And Kevin said he'd love to hear that song that we were just talking about as well.
I think I haven't set a date for release yet, but it's going to be in the summer at some point because it's I'm doing a big festival in September, so I would definitely want it released before then. So
how exciting! So I was about to ask you about tours and shows and what you've got coming up.
So I've got quite a few kind of going on. I've got a festival in June, which is actually really exciting. It's the very first. It's called Out and Wild Festival, and it's a women's festival of wellness, mixing music and comedy and spoken word with kind of yoga and meditation and wild swimming and hiking and stuff. So it's going to be such a fun weekend to go and get involved in that. I'm joining a lot of other UK country artists in London in May, where we're doing a big kind of day of songwriting rounds, which is going to be so exciting. That's going to be all over the internet. I'm sure there'll be live streams.
I hope so.
To get so you guys can kind of keep in touch with that. There's going to be a lot of people involved, which I'm really excited about. And it's in such a brilliant place as well. The venue is such a great live music venue. Really kind of special place. So that's going to be a big tick for me. And then in September, I'm doing the British Country Music Festival. I'm really excited about. It's quite a big honour for me to be included on the Saturday schedule there. So there's some big names involved, and they've actually kind of done it so it's a celebration of songwriting. So it's not just country music. I think the majority of people identify their music in country, but there's also Americana, some folk, some roots, some blues. You've kind of got a bit of a mismatch of just celebrating songwriting, which is actually really nice to see. Really good collection of people.
I love that. And as I've said many times on the show, I love that although we've got genres, people aren't afraid to step out of that genre a little bit now. And they can, if music's good, it's good. It doesn't need to be labelled if we are loving it.
Totally agree, yeah. In fact, I was talking about this with someone recently, and I said, genres to me now feel like boxes. You've got to put yourself in one box or in another box. But I like to think of it as like a big room. And in the corner over there is country, and the corner over here is blues, there's jazzis over here, there's Americana, there's folk, and then it depends on where you kind of place yourself in the room as to where it kind of all mixes in, rock and pop, everything kind of, has got an influence in stuff. So that's how I'd prefer it to be now, but unfortunately I don't get to make decisions.
We just do what we want. But I actually think it is starting to go that way, and people are starting to branch out, not frightened to say, I actually like that genre, or I like that song, and do their own thing.
That's what I mean. I like songs. I like it. It may be a dance song. It may be a heavy rock song. I like the song. That's what gets me. So.
Yeah, I'm the same. Kevin just said he likes all kind of music, even classical. And I agree. Classical. There's no genre that I don't not want to be part of, because all of it, if it's good, it's good. It doesn't need it.
I'm not a massive fan of kind of hip hop and rap and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I can appreciate it.
Oh, but the talent, absolutely.
Yeah, but it's not my kind of go-to music.
No.
Same with really heavy kind of metal, although I can appreciate that, but that's maybe not my choice. But I've
Who
got
are
so
you?
many different playlists, so many different kind of things, depending on
Love
what
that.
mood I'm in. So
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it
yeah,
does definitely.
my
And
my
who are some of your musical people that
so
you know, your
my
influences?
my songwriting heroine is Mary Chapin Carpenter.
Oh, yes.
I think she is just stunning the way she weaves words into pictures, and
Yes.
uh,
Yeah.
then with the melodies and her kind of gentle. She's got this such a gentle approach, but certainly in her recent work with her vocal delivery, and I find her just amazing. I
Have you
love.
met her? Have you got to meet
No,
her?
do you know what I did? I think I was like 15, and I met her outside of a show she did when she signed
Yeah.
my Come On Come On album, my
Oh,
CD.
lovely. I love
Yeah.
it.
I've got a photograph somewhere, but I look absolutely terrible, so it will never see the light of day.
That's fair. I can understand that. Most of my photos are like that.
Yeah. But I love Fleetwood Mac. I love Bruce
Yes.
Springsteen. I love, um, like I said, 90s country
Yeah.
especially. I love Taylor Swift songwriting.
Yes, I do too.
I like a lot of Melissa Etheridge is a big influence on me. I love how she's carved out that kind of almost country rock
Yes,
kind of
path.
acoustic 12-stringy vibe that she's got going on.
It's so good. There's so much out there at the moment. Now, where can we find you? Can we get your EP in a hard copy or can we stream it? What's the
So
best way?
I release my music digitally only, and I do
Okay.
that on purpose. First of all, it's much cheaper,
Yes.
and being a struggling independent artist, that's the best way.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I also made a conscious decision because I don't actually own a CD player anymore. My car, my laptop, I've got no way of playing a CD myself.
Yes.
And also, I'm a scuba diver, and I kind of like to limit my plastic use.
Yes.
I kind of thought slightly eco-consciously about not adding more plastic to the world.
That's a good idea. Yeah, that's a good point. There's something I hadn't thought of. Yeah.
So what I've done instead of kind of asking people to buy a CD, I wrote a small lyric and scrapbook.
Oh,
So
lovely.
so it's a little book. Actually, you can see it here. No, you can't see it. So it's a little book,
Oh, how great. Yeah, that's
uh,
wonderful.
and inside has got the lyrics of the songs with some
Oh, and the
images,
photos. Yeah.
photos, yeah, and then like the story of what the inspiration was,
Oh, lovely.
and then the flick through to the end, and then we've got
Did you design all of this?
the recording process. So that's Tom and Matt in the studio
That
here.
is fantastic.
Yeah,
What a great idea.
and it's just a little kind of keepsake that people can have because things
Yeah.
are so digital these days. Photos are always digital and stuff. I
Yes.
wanted to let people have something they can have.
Yes.
And put on their coffee table, and it be a talking point, or
Yeah.
they can put it on a bookshelf. Whatever they want to do, and
So
it's
good.
in a way they can support me in my music, but also find out some more information about how we went about recording it,
Yeah, that's process.
where the
Yeah.
inspiration was. It explains the whole 15-year gap from when I wrote Where Do You Go to putting it on the record. How
That
many
is
different
fantastic.
versions of Shadow of the Moon there were, which there were lots, and why that was.
And how did you settle on the one that you did? What was the final?
The last version actually was created in the recording studio. There was an
Oh,
instrumental,
okay.
yeah. So the bit in the middle, where I kind of go a bit, kind of loud,
Yes.
was never actually. It was written in, then taken out, then written in, taken out, and I said to the guys in the studio, maybe I might try this little bit in the middle that I'm not sure about.
Yeah.
And we recorded it, and I actually, you might not be able to tell, but it actually distorted in the recording. And Tom, who I was with in the studio at the time, he said, "Wow!" And I said, "Oh, it distorted a little bit. I think we need to do it again." He goes, "We are not doing that again. You have just captured
It's
that
perfect.
kind of that angst and that kind of release that in that moment with that to match the lyric, he says, "We're not recording that again. That is how it's going to be."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, you're the boss."
Yeah, exactly. You gave him the control.
Yeah.
Jonathan has popped in. Thank you so much, Jonathan, for staying up to watch as well. And he said he loves the book. I do too. I haven't seen someone do that instead of an album. Because I like it.
So many people have said it's 36 pages. It's not, it's not a novel by any stretch of the imagination, but I've put the reason I called it a scrapbook, if you can see, I'll hold it up to the camera, but I've got some of the of scribbles out of my songbook.
Oh, how perfect.
I've scanned them and put them in on top of the lyrics, and then the images are either my images or copyright free images that kind of match the vibe or the to kind of visually go along with the song. So Gasoline and Matches is very much fire.
Yes.
As we can imagine, yeah. And
I love that idea.
Getaway Car has got convertible getaway car.
Oh yes, I can see it. That's gorgeous.
So yeah, that's I ordered 50 to begin with, and I think I've got 7 left.
Oh wow!
I was hoping to be able to sell them at shows over the summer, but I'm going to have to order some more, I think. So.
To do some more. I'm sorry, my cat's just come in.
Okay.
He's tapping at me. Well, where can we find you on social media? Are you Facebook, Instagram, whereabouts?
I spend most of my time on Instagram. That's my favourite social media. But I also spend a lot of time on Facebook. I have a lot of my my followers are active on Facebook. So you can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Celine Ellis Music. Yes. I have Twitter, which is Celine_music because I couldn't get Celine Ellis Music. I don't know why. Yeah. And I do go on it every now and again, and I try to spend more time checking it, but I kind of don't get on with Twitter so well. Yeah,
I'm so confused with Twitter and Instagram and Twitter. I'm still sort of trying to work out and understand, but I think that they're both. It's good to have the different platforms to fit different things.
Definitely, and I think they've all got their kind of merits. I'm not on TikTok. I can't do another one. TikTok is a.
There's so many now. How do you do them all?
I can't do dances, and I'm rubbish at. My dog is just not. She doesn't do anything. She just kind of sleeps. Literally, she does. I did some live streams early on in lockdown, and I was sat on my sofa downstairs, and the dog just curled up on the sofa, and I just sang for an hour, and she just was like that. Oh, we're still now.
We're still going. Yeah. I don't need to worry. I can just sleep through this. Yep.
But everyone, when I kind of moved into this studio to do them, when I learned how to do them better, everyone's like, "Well, the dog's not here. We want to see the dog." I'm like,
The dog. So many people love the animals and the pets. Like my kitten that's just come in to annoy us. He wants food. That's why he's meowing. Oh. He thinks it's breakfast time.
Breakfast time.
It is. I know it's so late over there, so thank you so much for coming to join us.
No, it's been my absolute pleasure. I don't remember actually spending time talking to anyone in Australia or.
Oh, wonderful!
So superb.
I hope you'll come back again for your next single.
Definitely. Oh, we'll definitely get. Yeah. I'll make sure you get to hear that when it comes out.
I cannot wait. That's going to be fantastic. And if everybody at the top of the thing, I have also put your YouTube link as well, so they can subscribe to your YouTube link. And there is the Country Kickback one there as well. We do have the Buy Me a Coffee option. If you feel like doing that, you don't have to, but that is going to go to some music that we're going to release later on in the year, hopefully. Thank you so much, Celine. It's been great to have you.
No, thank you for having me. It's been brilliant. I appreciate it.
It really has. I've loved having a chat. So I will see you very soon. See you, everybody. We will be back this week. Everyone. I have put the shows up on Thursday night. We've got 2 shows, so we'll be back then. And then Saturday morning early, we have another one as well. So thank you, everybody. We'll see you later in the week. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. We hope you've enjoyed today's program. See you next time with the latest with Country Kickback.